So everyone's coming back into the pits off after their second run. So while I'll take that opportunity while we've got a little bit of a lull. Excellent. That's what I want to see. Thanks, Lefty. Now let's go and have a look at our standings for Tier 4. I apologise for all the pings as well in the Discord. I'm sure you love having 4 pings about the stream. Anyway, let's have a look at our standings. So, after Great Britain, our championship leader, we have Donut Gorilla on 221 points. Ahead of Skillsy, who's fallen back a little bit since the break, on 191 points for Aston Martin. And third, Driver 48 on 181 points. And just to round out the top 10, we've got Evil Blade in fourth, 173. X-Knights, 141 in P5. Henchman, with 139 in P6. Hunter, P7, 131. Chevy Wolves, P8, 131 as well. Duck Puncher, 117 in 9th. And my driver, Frosty, up to P10 with 104 points. Yeah, that's an issue with Lightstream as well. I changed it on my Xbox, but Lightstream's decided that it's going to be Qatar. It's going to be Kota this week instead of Qatar. So, if I could change it, I would. So anyway, that's our standings for the drivers. Was we on board with Hunter then? Yes, we were. Let's continue watching the end of his lap. Although it's not... No, he's coming into the pits. Never mind. I have been foiled. And we've got Muzz on an invalidated lap. So he's also going to be coming into the pits. Go on board with X-Knights, methinks, as he's in the middle sector on his out lap. He'll be the first to start a lap, I believe. Oh no, maybe Shining Swarm. Make a liar out of myself. While we're waiting on him to start his lap, the constructor standings, we have Haas in first place with 427 points, steamrolling away from the pack in the constructors, with Sauber second, 340, and Red Bull 267 points in third. We've got RB fourth, 241, Aston fifth, 235, Mercedes in sixth with 231. They've dropped a couple of places last week. Ferrari 7th, 209. McLaren 181 in 8th. My boys in Williams 171. And Alpine in 10th on 99 points. Bringing up the rear, but that's not least. That's only last for now. There's still there's still 6 races left to go. As we watch X-Knights start his lap. Going down into turn 1, braking on the curb. And just flicking it right. Let's go on board, actually. As we ride on board with the Red Bull through turn 2. Gets it turned in nicely. A little bit late on the throttle, but got a good exit. Heading up into this double right-hander that is turns 4 and 5. Nice line through there. It should be nearly flat through this second part. Into turn 6. Now, nice apex. Got to slow down nicely. Beautiful exit. Coming out of turn 6 into this dodgy right-hander that is turn 7. Gets it through there nicely. Nice on the throttle. Getting a nice run into turn 8 and through turn 9. This difficult left-hander. Gets the apex beautifully on the throttle nice and early. Gets a really good run out of here. Coming up onto the back of the Ferrari. Though, hopefully, yes, they get out of the way as he's on his flying lap through the first, through the second. A bit of a lift off there for comfort. Through another lift off there to the third. Gets it turned through, though, nicely. As he goes through this penultimate corner now. Nice and early on the throttle as he comes into the final corner now with a bit of battery left to spare. He will use this all the way down this straight. No, he's coming into the pits. Oh, he'll probably be coming in to try to get another run. Mustn't have been improving. Let's have a look at Chevy Wolves, who's on a lap. Coming through turn 3, and he's backing out of it. So that was a silly time to go on board with him. I apologise, everyone. In the middle sector, we'll go on board with Mick, 6x4, 6x4. As he's in the middle of... I'm hoping he's on a lap, because if he's not, then we've got no one to watch on a lap. As Jason Bowl has joined the session in qualifying, he will be starting from P19 at this stage, unfortunately for him. Coming through the right-handers now with Mick, 6x4. Nice through the first, fully off the throttle for the second. Probably could have taken a little bit more speed, but he's got to do what's comfortable for him to make sure he gets himself into the best position possible on the grid for the race. As coming into the final sector now as he passes his teammate. Nice line, nice slowed down, nice on the throttle. excuse me, and he hits the DRS line across the line. It is a 123.9, moving into P14. Let's see, have we got someone else on a lap? Is Hunter on a lap here? Looks like he is. Coming through the middle sector, gets it turned in, a bit of a spit on the slide. Nothing wrong with a pointy car though, pointy means fast. As coming through turn 7 and into turn 8, he flicks it in. Runs a bit wide, so can't get on the throttle very early. But he's got the run now, coming up into the triple right-hander. Flat through the first one, using a bit of ERS. Using ERS through the second and gets it nicely done. Just a slight lift through the third, nicely done. And coming through the final corner, holds it flat and gets it through there. Well done, Hunter, on having some balls through there. Fourth gear through the final corner, just slightly misses the apex. Just keeps it in track limits. And coming down to the line now across the DRS, and it is a 1 minute 22.0 for provisional pole there for Hunter. As we might go on board now at the start of his lap for Donut Gorilla, our former provisional pole sitter and benchmark so far this season through turn 2. Gets a good run out of there. Right into turn 3. Uses his battery, brakes just after the 50 metre board. Just a slight slowdown. Beautifully cut through those corners there. What a run. Through the double right-hander and into turn 6 there for Donut Gorilla. Beautifully judged on the exit there, just uses all the road and not a little bit more. Beautiful run here through the right-hander, maybe slightly wide, but certainly not going to hurt his run. He uses a bit of battery coming through into turn 7 and turn 8. Nice run, gets it turned in, nice exit, nice and using all the track again. As I'm running out of air to describe how good he's driving at the moment. Coming in, flat through the first of the right-handers, flat through the second, beautifully turned in, flat through the third, maybe a slight lift, but not much. And into the next one, he's got a little confidence lift, back on the throttle, coming into the final corner, braking very late after the 50 metre board, gets it turned in beautifully, lovely exits, cheekily trying to get a bit of DRS off his teammate there, and it's a 1 minute 21.7. What a benchmark Donut Gorilla has set us once again. As I might go on board with the Mercedes here through the final corner. Maybe getting a little bit of a slipstream there from the car ahead of him. I think that's one of the Williams 22.1. DeWhite's in the final sector. He's unfortunately invalidated, so his lap will not count, but he's up in P5 and looking pretty strong up there. I've missed where Frosty's gone. Where's he gone? He is 12th at the moment. Didn't improve his lap. Evil Blade's not improving his lap. What about Frizy? Where's he? Through the final corner, bit of a slide, out of fuel. And unless Muzz can do something, that is qualifying. And it looks like he can't do anything either, so that is qualifying done. Let's go through while we've got cars on track. We have Donut Gorilla on pole with a 1 minute 21.776. Hunter in second with a 22.059. H-Town Realtor third, 22.172. Duck Puncher fourth, 1 minute 22.404. D White fifth, 1 minute 22.449. And Henchman sixth, 22.6. 3 thousandths ahead of Skillsy in P7 with War Machine 8th, 22.7 more like. Just a hundredth ahead of X-Knights. Evil Blade in 10th with a 22.9. Chevy Wolves in P11 with a 23.011. Frosty 12th, 23.361. Moe in 13th, 23.4. Mick sets a 23.9. Frizy 24.0. And I missed the last 2 times because I'm too slow. Miss Shining Swarm's lap. What have I done? I've pressed something. Hope it hasn't affected the stream. I've touched something there. I apologise. There we go. We've got the Devil Hordes for Donut Gorilla. Let's have a look at the final couple of laps that I missed. Frizy obviously 24.0. Shining Swarm 24.1. And Muzz with a 24.4. With Kirko, I believe, having a quali ban. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he has not set a lap time, and neither did J-Swole, who joined during the session. As we now get ready to head for the race sequence. Unfortunately, I don't have any fancy things to set that up. Loading complete. Now, on the grid, it'll be interesting to see what the strategies are for our drivers today. See what everyone plans to do. I'm assuming everyone's going to run longer than 18 laps, as was required in the race last year. Mandatory 2-stop. But we'll see when we get out to the grid. Well, we've got Coda and Bremer. You two need to start behaving. All you do is bicker. You're like, I don't know, siblings or something. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good for the demographics. It's good for the stream to be getting all of our. What's the word? I'm losing words now. That's not a good sign this early in the night. We're getting all the interaction, which is good. So keep going. But at the same time, you two need to come to an agreement on something, because you guys, all you do is bicker. As we've got our red lights, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and long hold, and lights out, and away we go. Looks like Donut Gorilla's got the jump off the start, but the RB on the inside. Oh, there's a spin at the back. I think that's Frizy around at the back of the pack. As I'm trying to commentate at the front, let me go back and confirm. Yes, that is Frizy. What a shame for the Alpine man, who hopefully we don't know what happened there. But we'll find out later in the race, no doubt. As we've got Donut Gorilla leading us into turn 4. We've got Aston looking in the back of Matt Skills and back in the midfield. As the Ferraris have swapped positions. One of the, I think that was Dwight, wide on the exit of turn 5. And again at turn 6. Leaving it open, the door open for Henchman as we follow our leader through turn 6. 7. I'm losing my corners. I apologise, everyone. What a view this is, showing the whole track, side-by-side action coming through turn 7 and into turn 8. But our leader is still Donut Gorilla, heading into the start of the 3rd sector. This is going to be a dangerous sector to come to the race. A lot of people are going to get penalties through here, I would imagine, because it is just so easy. 2-1 run, slightly wide and over that white line. Let's go through the field, see what the changes are. Actually, I should also get the tyres up, shouldn't I? As I've got everything disabled. Let's have a look at tyres to start with. What am I repeating? Oh, I was just saying you two should stop bickering. Anyway, so the top 5 all on mediums. As you've got Henchman, X-Knights and Evil Blade, the 3 leaders on hard tyres. And Henchman is hounding the back of D-White, pushing him through turn 1. He's got some pace there, Henchy, and he wants to use it. Skillsy in 7th on the mediums, and we've got Muzz at the back in P16 on the softs. As you can see there, all the tyres, and I might change to see who the movers and shakers were so far. So, X-Knights, Evil Blade and Frosty, big movers on the first lap, as well as J-Swell, who's up 4 positions into P15. The big losers, War Machine's down 3, and obviously Frizy down 4 positions. So, let's go back. Let's have a look at this battle here. Continue watching D-White versus Henchman. As I get rid of that menu, because I don't need that there. You're both distracting me from commentating by making me comment on your petty games. And I see the tier 2 chat. I know how much you bicker. Anyway, it seems DeWhite's managed to pull away a little bit with the dirty air through this 3rd sector. As I say that, he's run wide, as has Skillsy there. They're going to need to be very careful now, because I think DeWhite might be on 2 warnings already. At this a track that is very, very easy to get penalties and warnings. Should I know, I've been the recipient of those penalties many times, including in our pre-season race. I missed who had the fastest lap there because I was too busy talking. Wingy's tier 1, you shouldn't be able to stay with him, Bremer. Wait, Henchman now under threat from Skillsy. As I change the camera and I don't see the player I changed to. This is going to drive me mad if this continues. What am I going to change that to? No penalties yet. No need to have stops. I'll keep it on position change because that takes up the least room. On board with Matt Skills, as I am too busy talking about random crap. And we've actually got a battle for the lead. Let's have a look at this actually, between Hunter and Gorilla. Go on, that's on board with Donut Gorilla. I don't want to be on board with the leader because I can't see anything other than straight track. let's go on board with Hunter as he tries to hunt down Donut Gorilla going into the third sector. Holding it nice and tight through the first part, nice through the second part, just barely using all the track. Slight lift through the third last corner into the penultimate corner. Nice aggressive run through there. He's going to be salivating at the thought of having DRS down this main straight as he gets a really good entry. And looks like he's got a very good exit on Donut Gorilla. DRS open. Can Hunter do anything about the Haas man coming into turn 1? Nah, he's backed out of it. He's decided not this lap. Let's just sit behind and see where the Haas is strong and where the Haas is weak as we go through the lap. As he's tight through turn 2, nice run. Though Gorilla seems to have got a very good exit through the exit there. As we've got a battle here for 4th and 5th between Dwight and Duck Puncher. Heading up into turn 4. Has Dwight maybe got damage? I can't see. I reckon he might have damage. Can I look back? Yes, I can. Yes, he's got damage. There's obviously... Oh! He must have damage there as he's trying to... As he's tried to make a move on Duck Puncher. What a shame for the Williams driver. Not at all biased there. But anyway, let's go back to this lead battle because this is fascinating here between Donut Gorilla and Hunter. Coming back into the third sector. A little bit of burn there from Hunter just to try and keep within the DRS zone of Donut Gorilla. As he's running through this third sector, I've noticed Hunter's very strong through this corner here. Through this left-hander in the penultimate corner, but he's not quite close enough to get anything done this lap unless he can somehow find 3/10 in this corner, which he can't quite do, but he's very confident at just flicking his car in and it's sticking, Hunter, which is good to see. It's good to see him have confidence in his car to be able to do exactly what he wants. Coming into turn 1, nice and smooth on the entry, gets it turned in nicely. Now runs a little bit wide on exit, and he's taken a much earlier line, I've noticed, than Donut Gorilla, which I think is giving Donut Gorilla a slightly better exit on these corners, but only marginally. He could also be experimenting with lines to try to get out of the dirty air, so we don't fully know what the reason for these different lines are. As we come through turn 6. Well, Mr. Frosty, by the way, shout out, up 4 positions. Evil Blade also up 3. J Swell now up 5. We've got some big movers in this pack at the moment. Unfortunately, Dwight with damage, falling back. As it's only 6/10 here between these two now, and though Donut Gorilla gets a far better run through turn 9 and into turn 10. Now, though Hunter seems a little bit closer than he was last lap, can he do anything about this? Keeping it nice and trying to keep it nice and tight through these corners, through his strongest corner on the track. Though he doesn't seem to have the advantage that he did. His tyres are starting to wear as Henchman becomes the first person to get a penalty in this race. What a shame for Henchy. But he will no doubt regroup, as I think Donut Gorilla took out the DRS board here. But Hunter backing out again, coming into the braking zone. He knows it's not his fight just yet. He's not going to get anywhere by just dive bombing from a mile back. It's nice and close though. Can he do anything up this close, or is the dirty air going to affect him too much? Coming through at this middle sector. Oh, he's getting close here. No, he's backed out again. Going into turn 4. Doesn't want to risk making a silly move so early in the race. Loving this bit of racecraft and patience here from... Yeah. Sorry, I was wondering what was going on there, Kodo. You confused me there. Dick. I've lost my train of thought. Thank you for making me look at chat. I don't even know how long ago that was said. A minute ago, whatever. Anyway. Through turn 8 into turn 9. Can Hunter stay within 4/10? No, he can't because he's run wide. He'll lose a couple of tenths on exit there as Donut Gorilla gets a far better run. Needs to just pull it up a little bit and run a slightly tighter line there. Hunter get a slightly straighter exit so he can get on the throttle properly. I don't know if he's listening to this. That's what he needs to do, as Moe Nabs also gets a 3-second penalty for track limits, I'm going to assume. Although Hunter very good through there. Donut Gorilla also very good through this last sector. Coming through the final corner. Donut Gorilla's almost got a second now. Coming into this lap 7. So on the DRS, Hunter gaining in very fast. I wonder if Donut Gorilla's running zero along that straight to conserve some energy. Running 0 ERS.